What do you guys think about a little string bean plant in a farm? Do you like them? Are they good for you? Are they good enough to make you stronger? Why don't we use this and let's look at it this way. Say that one string bean is a family in our society, having the beans inside as the family members. Specifically, those who are struggling in life, those who are financially challenged, people who suffer from poverty. Now, you might ask, out of all the possible plants or veggies out there, why would you choose beans? Usually, beans are the veggies that make people feel gassy. Not many would want gassy people around them, right? Not everyone would appreciate those randomly released gas. Beans are supposed to make people healthy. You see, the poor people in our society are almost treated the same way. Many people belittle them and choose to ignore them as if they were never there. They are treated like filth that people can just leave to rot. We should all accept that there are always people who struggle immensely in life. We can't also just ignore them. They're citizens of this country as well. Many people actually choose to belittle them. Many people call them useless. Why is this? It's because of a problem that has been around for the longest time: lack of education. People who are poverty-stricken suffer from the effects of poverty. I'd say that lack of education is actually one of the main reasons as to why they suffer from such harsh effects of having less of everything, especially the basic needs of a person and family. Education, this word is no stranger to anyone who hears it. Knowing that, we can say that it is really essential. Everyone needs a good education in order for them to join in the community and contribute to the country, society, and to the world. Many need it in order for them to survive in this harsh world where not everything is given for free, not everything is given out of compassion. According to the data gathered by NOEMA, the Philippines' adult illiteracy was estimated at 2.32 million in 2015. The numbers may appear to be small, but compared to the number of literate people, approximately 2.32 million people is already a lot. Let's first look at the effects of lack of education, especially to those who are suffering from it. According to some studies and research done by Professor Chris Drew of the Helpful Professor, the possible effects of lack of education are poor health, lack of voice, shorter lifespan, unemployment, and exploitation. Number 1. Since many of them aren't well educated, not all of them have the opportunity to talk, since they might not even understand much about what they'd be talking about. Many people see their opinions as irrelevant and useless since they wouldn't have enough credibility to support themselves as they have a background of being educated poorly. Number 2. Exploitation. Since they struggle from knowing right and wrong, especially when it comes to societal situations and events, they are easily moved and exploited by those with power. In other words, they'd be easy to manipulate without them even noticing. Number 3. Poor health. Since many of them don't know much about health, they may experience problems regarding it and they might not even know when they would be experiencing health issues. In addition, since they would not have good enough jobs, many of them still reside in places that are a threat to a person's health. Many of them still reside in places that are a threat to a person's health. Number 4. Shorter lifespan. Since the majority of them would be living in poor health conditions, it is possible that they would be affected by such conditions where they are possibly exposed to viruses, diseases, illnesses, sickness, and many more. Living in unsanitary areas would definitely have a negative effect on a person's health. Number 5. Unemployment. One of the most known effects of lack of education would be unemployment or underemployment. Many of poorly educated people are forced to take jobs where they can't use their skill set. Most jobs would be minimum wages jobs. Having not studied properly or consistently, they would not develop and learn the desired skills set by companies and other jobs that pay higher than minimum wage jobs. Many would not even make the cut and struggle to find jobs that are suitable for them. Now that we've gotten an overview about some of the generalized effects of lack of education, let's see what the government has been doing in order to tackle such problem. Surely there should be some specific policies, right? Number 1. Republic Act 9155, also known as the Governance of Basic Education Act, What this policy is basically trying to say is that the goal is to provide people with basic education that would help them develop skills, knowledge, patriotism, nationalism, and even aspects of what citizens of a country should do and know about so that they may be able to partake in the events that require the said precepts, may it be economic, political, or societal related topics and or events. Number 2. Article 14, Section 2, paragraphs 2 to 5 of the Philippine Constitution. The second paragraph talks about providing free public education for students in the elementary and high school levels. Education is essential for all children that are of schooling age. The third paragraph talks about government subsidies for students, providing scholarships, student loan programs, and many more benefits to those who are deserving, especially the underprivileged who have potential. This is implemented for both public and private schools. The fourth paragraph talks about developing learning systems, may it be formal or informal, that promote self-learning and independence to the poorly educated. Learning programs are also done to respond to those who are in need of it, in order to boost the learning environment of an area where education is an issue. The fifth paragraph talks about giving learning opportunities for out-of-school youth, the disabled, and other adult citizens who have had a poor education. They provide them with training in civics to better know what they would be dealing with in the world, vocational efficiency, being able to stay in jobs consistently, and many more skills in order for them to better themselves in terms of jobs and life opportunities. I think it's safe to say that the Philippine government has done their part in tackling the issue of lack of education. It's true that they provide free public education, scholarship grants, study programs, and opportunities for those who have not been able to study at a younger age to bring them to having knowledge about some contemporary situations and events that are happening around them. Propose our own solution to this issue. We've thought of setting up a program called Aral Tayo, where NGOs are involved together with those who are willing to help. We can't always rely on the Philippine government to do and solve everything. The goal of this program is to take the same actions as the government, especially actions related to Article 14, Section 2, paragraphs 2 to 5 of Philippine Constitution. It's not always the case when the government is solely focused on education of Philippines citizens, especially when there's a bigger problem around. They tend to focus on a lot more help to sectors such as agriculture, health, and infrastructure. What happens is that we would encourage specific NGO groups such as Save the Children Philippines and Teach for the Philippines to join in fixing the problem by setting up programs that are directly towards those who lack in education. People living in rural areas and mountainous provinces are included as well. We would also be relying on financial help given by the citizens and even other organizations. This program aims to teach those who lack in education about topics that would help them and be aware. This program aims to teach those who lack in education about topics that would help them develop their skill set and even be aware of the current situation happening in our country. Going back, of course, we can't just base our knowledge on data and policies. We must as well know the views of people who are directly related to the issue. Why don't we ask a small school teacher her thoughts on our country's education and relate it to the issue of lack of education? Thank you, Miss Eileen Tagumpay, for your time and knowledgeable insights. Now that we've learned the side of a teacher, do you think there's still a need for the government institutions to work more on the issue of lack of education? We'll leave that to you. Do you now see how big this problem is? What can you, as a citizen of this country, do to contribute to the solution of the issue? We are all capable of doing things that seem so impossible to us. It's just a matter of whether or not you would really put in the effort. We urge you to do your part as a global citizen of this world. Be innovative, be inspirational, be you.